out. And yeah, and then the neighbors are thinking, oh yeah, she's really telling them off. Tell those gardeners off. Well, she's defaulting. They're tearing up literally they're rolling up the, what is it, the sod, those things, patches of grass in squares, and she's pretending like, and she never wanted it that way. And the neighbors think, like I said, they think, oh, she's the bee's knees. She tells up our gardeners. It's so funny. Bouncy, bouncy, Mrs. Harper. I guess they're Dick and Jane Harper. That was their names, Dick and Jane Harper. And so we walk into the house, and just as we walk in, and she's like supposed to be so exasperated by the whole thing, I slap her on the ass. It was just an instinct that I had. I don't know why. I don't know why I slapped her on the ass. It was not in the script. And all I am supposed to say is, good job, Mom. But for some reason, I don't know why I slapped her on the ass. But I did. And Ted Kotcheff, like, absolutely had a conniption. He loved that so much that I kept that he obviously kept it. He adored it. And we need to stop there on that, right? Because we're going to work on lip snap and let y'all go. Let y'all get on with your day. So let's see. Where can I get this? No, I want my little brush. So Ted, being the genius that he is, this is he was really an unusual guy, like kind of goofy. Now let's see how this. I usually hit the apple a lot harder than a lot of people do on the face, because it's bone structure, bone structure. Now, I know, we're gonna blend this out. Okay, now, so that was, it was like, it was not supposed to be, this is not an improvisational movie. This was letter for letter, but he dug that so much that obviously it ended up in the film. And there's actually a shot of it. Just as I slap her on the ass, there's this shot of literally just as my hand is reaching her ass. She's exasperated with her arms up and everything, and leaning, looking just, so like over it. And that's when I slap her on the ass. And she loved it too, of course. Liz, I was going to say Liz. Okay, now I'm just gonna go over it again, lightly, not with pencil, but a brush. It's not that I don't trust pencils, but I just only used to using them for stenciling my lip. Okay. And that was only for nightclubs. So there was lots of actors that I saw in, again, like I said, I never knew who the hell I was working with. But there was a lot of character actors in that film that went on to do quite a bit of work. And so they cut out the drumming. They cut out, uh, again, like I said, then Paramount sends over somebody to teach me how to ride a skateboard. I was not a skateboard person, but they wanted me to ride a skateboard. So I had to go to, what was it, Highland Hall. That's what it was in the valley. And can you see? Uh, and I had to go all over. I'll tell you what, I'm going to use the brush. I'm too scared. All over this place on the weekend when there were no kids there, and practice. They got me a skateboard, and I had to practice and practice and practice. And I never ended up being I was a good roller skater, but never much of a skateboarder. It is a miracle that I get any of this on with no glasses. So, anyway, not like I said, not a lot of homes fully developed in this area of Laurel Canyon where it all took place. There was no sound stages on Huntington Dane. It was either at the house or on location at some motel or liquor store that they were robbing. And so they took, it was easy enough because this house was new. Like I said, this whole area of Coldwater Canyon was barely anything. Although there were a couple of celebrities, but that actually lived, like one across the street and one across the way. And I got to know them. And usually I try and save that for people that read the book, but they are Vicki Lawrence and Red Fox. They actually came visit the set. Well, Vicki, she lived literally across the street, so she would just like say hi from outside. We didn't like, she didn't like come in, but you guys, I'm telling you stuff in my book. Who fuck cares? Another book's coming out any day now. Red Fox. Like I said, he was like up and over, kind of across the way. And here come I. And oh my God, you can only imagine. If you know anything about Red Fox, you can only imagine how things went. They went, I mean, I don't mean bad, like they didn't go south or anything, but he's a raunchy guy. And so he wasn't like walking around the set being raunchy, but he, actually, you guys, he was a sweetheart. He was a total sweetheart. He didn't do or say anything untoward. Again, I can't find hardcore metallic anything here in Tucson. Otherwise, I used to have a metallic blue and a metallic purple lipstick that I used. And I just keep having to use glitter to get the same effect on these tutorials because they have Sally's Beauty, and that's like the only game in town, you guys, is Sally's Beauty, which is kind of like, ooh, okay. That's it, huh? Sally's Beauty? Great. So shooting was, like I said, all in and around that house up on Laurel Canyon. And the wrap party for Fun with Dick and Jane was held at this place called the Speakeasy, which was smack dab in the middle of West Hollywood, of all places. And full tilt discotheque. I mean, I'm talking like Saturday Night Fever disco. The floor, you know how the movie had those flashing squares? Well, same thing as it was called the Speakeasy. And it stayed a club for the longest time, because I went there when I was a bad boy, and it was still a club. But it was, I don't want to say exclusively, but it was an African American night spot for African American folks by and large. And it was really cool. That's where we had the wrap party. That was my, of course we all know I'm Disco Boy, right? So of course that's going to be like, oh my God, Disco Boy is like in heaven. His wrap party was at a disco club. Well, I was in heaven. As you can well imagine, because Disco Boy's movie was now at Disco Wrap Party. And I was working it. Are you kidding me? By then, I was turning 11. That was really kind of like, I don't know, 76, I would imagine, would be kind of really like watershed, I mean, I would say like 76, 75, 76 until, excuse me, through, I don't know, People's Stage started dying out in like 78. Not for me. Not for me. So, anyway, you get the idea, you guys. Wrap party, heaven comes out, and then I milk that role to death forever. It's oh yeah, Sean, here's the kid from Fun with Dick and Jane. Fun with Dick and Jane, yeah. By the end of it, it was, oh my God. I mean, I was like, I'm still working this. I'm still working Fun with Dick and Jane. Okay, have at it. But I can't complain. It was like really kind of until I started doing a couple other parts, and then I got E.T., and then right after E.T., like we talked about the other night, I got Spinal Tap, and then everyone thought that we were off to a great start. And look what happened. So I'm going to let you go now. You get the general idea. It's a mess and a half, but had it been darker red and I had the right chrome and I don't know, more time for my liner to be caked on the edges and everything, you get the idea. It's just a chance to be with y'all and talk about movies. And I'm sure I went way too over on this one, but I had fun. Hope you did too. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Same old menu, same old surprises. And until then, I love you. Be good to yourself and be good to those you care about. All right. Promise? Okay. Take care. Bye.